we're gonna pick up right where we left off.
Whew, all right, I'm here. Let's get started, all right?
I think we good, man. I think
What?
we good. Yeah, we already wrapped it up.
Got it.
Close
Sure.
enough.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now we're getting into what to eat during the ACFT. With it being something that's more than 90 minutes, it could be beneficial to eat something with, or drink something with carbohydrates during the ACFT. So this could be something like a sports drink, or maybe also a piece of fruit if you weren't able to eat it before can also be a good thing. Again, we also want to focus on hydration. So if you do pick something like a sports drink, that kind of can do both things. It can hydrate you and provide you those carbs for those high intensity exercise. We do know that consuming carbohydrates in activities longer than an hour can help delay fatigue and therefore can improve your performance, especially at the end when you're going for that 2 mile.
Pro tip, get a 32-ounce Gatorade bottle, consume it like, the night before or the day before, and then you could actually make your own protein drink, like 1/3 coconut water, 8 ounces, right? 8 ounces of water, and then add in some branched chain amino acids. And you can sip on that throughout the workout in order to have your potassium, right? Have a little bit of electrolytes.
Electrolytes are super important when we are doing very hard exercise because we are sweating, and when we do sweat, we do lose electrolytes as well. So that's really important, and maybe this isn't the time to just stick with water during exercise.
Yeah, kind of like in this room, like I'm sweating profusely, like listening. But yeah, replacing electrolytes, replacing sodium during the workout is definitely essential to having, maximum performance or setting yourself up for success as far as maximum performance.
So the really main takeaways here are, number one, we're going to start with a foundational diet. We want to make sure that we are including all of the macronutrients that are going to support our performance. Number two, we're not going to try anything new that day or the couple days leading up because we know that everyone's body is different. And number three, trialing these out in PT, early morning workouts. We know you're not waking up super early beforehand so that we know that going into the ACFT, we know what works, we know what doesn't, because what works for you might not work for somebody else and vice versa. So we really want to make sure we are practicing these just like we are practicing some of the events, because we know that nutrition and training both kind of work together really to make you max the ACFT.
All right, so we covered before taking the ACFT and during the ACFT. What are some tips we need for after the ACFT? Like, what would be some good foods to consume?
So when we're talking about after the ACFT, we were really focusing on recovery. So there are 4 main components of recovery that we really want to look at. We want to refuel. So we really want to replenish those carbohydrate stores that we burned up during that maximum intensity exercise. These are things like fruit, or we could do something like a full meal with breads, pastas, rice, something like that. Number 2, we want to rebuild. We really want to make sure that we have the protein, those building blocks to build back those muscles, because during exercise we do tear down those muscles. Number 3, we want to rehydrate. When we are exercising at high intensities, we are sweating out water, so we want to replace that. And then we also want to rest, so we want to give our body the ability to build back what we burnt, what we broke down in that exercise. So carbohydrates, we really want to focus on protein and water are the 3 big ones. However, if we can have a full meal right after and include those fruits and vegetables, those will provide antioxidants to help decrease some of that inflammation that can also be caused. So this could be done with something like a smoothie. You can have your carbohydrates from fruit as well as the antioxidants from the fruit. You can use something like a Greek yogurt or a milk and have that protein in there. And as well, if we add milk, that's also hydrating, so we are hitting all of those 4 components in something like a smoothie that can be super quick, and we can have that right after.
All right, so I'm all about the protein. What are some other protein sources that you can take post ACFT in order to replenish, the breaking down of the muscles, like the amino acids?
So protein can come from 2 different things. We have our plant sources and we have our animal sources. So our plant sources are some of those things like those nuts, seeds, things like that. Animal sources are typically what people think about in protein. So, your chicken, your beef, your eggs. If you are a soldier who goes to the DFAC after completing the ACFT, you can have a full meal breakfast. You can have your eggs for protein. You can have your carbohydrates, maybe something like potatoes or toast, and just making sure you're having some type of fluid after. And then as well as some type of fruit or vegetable that is available in that specific DFAC.
So one of the simple tips that I suggest if you don't have a protein shake or a protein source is chocolate milk. They are highly sponsored after running events, and it's one of those things that just prepared like before the ACFT, have like a little cooler or something that you can keep the milk cold, and then like post ACFT, it's like what we call a poor man's protein shake. So that is one of the things that I would suggest as far as protein, the simple sugars, right? Especially with the chocolate milk.
Yes.
God bless you.
Delicious.
Yes, and so that's one of the things that I look at as far as like recovery drink.
Hits all the marks. You got your protein from the milk. You got your carbohydrates from the chocolate. It's a fluid as well.
Yeah.
Maybe adding in some fruit, and you're really hitting all four.
Okay, all right. You churched it up. You're gonna add some fruit to the chocolate. Just like blueberries activate
A little bit extra,
antioxidants.
little
Okay,
bit
all right.
extra,
Okay.
yeah.
It is what it is. I guess he's not here.
All right, let's go then. So you've just heard what to do during the ACFT to improve your performance. Join us next time to hear the end of our conversation.
Tag team back again. Breaks in the fixing, let's begin. Party people in the house, breaks the noise. In the house, just jump for joy. Yes!